Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. This week's top 10 list is the top 10 videos slash events that you would have missed in 2022 if you were not a subscriber. If you've been a subscriber all along, of course, this is just a rundown of everything we did this year. But if you're new here, well, these were some of the things I came up with for 2022, and only makes me wonder what 2023 is going to be like. So let's check out some of the top 10 videos and moments of 2022. Number 10 on the list. This was filmed basically 11 months ago. It was the top 10 wish list notes for 2022. It gives you an idea of the notes that were on top of my list that I really wanted to get for the year. I knew there'd be no way I'd get all of them, but it turns out I actually knocked out 5 of them. So for this year, I'm also going to be making a wish list for 2023, and I think that particular wish list will probably contain 20 notes in hopes that I can knock out 10 of them. Because when you start off with a short list of only 10, it's pretty much impossible to get all of them. So with a wish list of 20, maybe I can get enough to get a full 10 videos for a top 10 list. That's number 10 this year, starting off last year with the top 10 wish list notes for 2022. Number 9 on the list, also going back about 11 months, the next thing I did was I checked out Heritage Auctions for the first time. I was the successful bidder on a number of items, and I reviewed my process for how I bid, what I thought of the process, and of course showed the stuff that I won. Being able to check out a brand new auction format like Heritage Auctions really expanded the way that I was looking at notes, but on the same token, helped me limit my purchases to some extent, because when there are notes you really want, you can find them in great condition, but the price, that's the hard part. Being able to put away that much money for those particular notes. Not that they're not worth the money, but let's face it, we do have a very expensive hobby, and you can't just simply tick off all of the expensive notes all at once. Eventually you have to pay bills. So yeah, number 9 was my exploration into Heritage Auctions. Number 8 on the 2022 list was when I featured the grading of notes, how to send notes in for grading. It was my first time sending in multiple notes, many notes actually. I sent in 2 total sets that had to be separate because of what they were. I had sent in notes in the past, simply one note the very first time I ever did it, and I did it at the time of purchase, so I didn't really have to go through all the effort. When I sent these notes in for grading, I also went through a coin dealer who was able to walk me through the process step by step, but he was also able to give me all the paperwork and stuff to show exactly what it's like trying to send notes in on your own to get graded. So that was number 8 on the list, the grading process for the 2022 stuff. Number 7 on my list was a real fun series that I did for a little while. It was the first ever free community strap search. And what I did here was I simply took one strap of singles and I went through them one at a time. And you guys could leave in the comments the number of note that you thought had a fancy serial number. And if you were the only one to select that note, I'd mail it out to you. If there was nothing fancy, of course, I wasn't sending it out. But this allowed you guys who cannot necessarily go to the banks and strap hunt notes, it allowed you the ability to do the same thing that I do on a weekly basis. So that was number 7 on the list, the community strap search. And this went on for 19 weeks or so, averaging at least 5 or 6 notes a week that was sent out, all for free, all for fun. So that was number 7 on the list. Number 6 on the list meant more to me than it did to you guys, but my former employer was a casino, and they had a weird policy of not giving out straps of singles. Most casinos in Vegas I would go to, I could give them $100 bill and they'd give me a strap of singles. I would, if they had questioned anything, I would simply say I'm going to the strip club, and nobody would ever question what I was actually doing with the notes. But the casino that I used to work at would not do it. They wouldn't give me the strap. So I actually had to go there and put $20 bills into the change machines and get singles that way, and it took me 10 separate trips to get 1,000 notes. So this was my vendetta search. So it meant a lot to me to actually get 1,000 singles from a place that wouldn't give them to me. But I did, and this is what I found. So my vendetta search was number 7. Number 7? No, number 6. Number 6 on the list. Number 5 on the list was one of my first purchases from Shibby Rob. Every weekend, Shibby Rob has a coin auction, and occasionally he'll throw in some currency. He's been more apt to throw in currency, a little bit of it every week now since I've been watching. But anyway, this was the first note I had gotten from Shibby Rob's auction. So hey, Shibby, how you doing? I was able to pick up a 1928 F $5 legal tender, and as you can see, it was a star note. So that was number 5 on my list, being able to participate in Shibby Rob's auction and get something that I didn't have and thought was a really cool note. Number 4 on the list was when I did my grading series. This particular video shows the scale from 8 all the way up to 65, different notes in different grades, so you can see them side by side under the same light so you can do your own comparisons. But I also had done individual videos for most of the individual types of grades, just to help you guys get a feel for what a particular grade will look like. Now with the higher grade notes, it's very difficult because the imperfections you're looking for are so small. But on the lesser grade notes, it was pretty clear. So we were able to take care of that. So that was number 4, the grading series that I had done. Number 3 on the list was when I filmed the entire top 100 notes series, the 100 greatest American currency notes. You can see here, this is the book. I did 10 separate videos, 10 notes each video, showing the entire series from 100 all the way down to number 1. It's a really fun list to complete, really impressive book. And I was also amazed by the number of notes that I actually had. Having any of the top 100 is an incredible feat, and I had quite a few. And for those that I didn't have, I had a lot of replicas, so I didn't really have to go into the book as much as I thought I had to. But once again, number 3 on the list was going through the full top 100 greatest American currency notes of all time. Number 2 on the list was when I started my first ever Buy It Now auction. My Buy It Now auctions, that's where I take 5 items of mine and I put them up for bid. The way you bid is simply listing your bid in the comments, but I will also put a Buy It Now price. If there is a note that you just have to have, I will put a price, a maximum bid essentially, and if someone chooses that price, regardless of the time of week, they get the note. That particular auction is over. If nobody buys it now, by the end of the week, whoever has the highest bid will get the note. I've done 5 or 6 of these now, and I think they're going to continue. There's been growing interest in each one that I have done, and with other stuff that I've got going on, I've been seeing a lot of stuff I can pick up at decent prices so I can pass those savings on to you. Anyway, my Buy It Now auction, not ending anytime soon. That was number 2 on the list. And finally, number 1 on the list, the most recent addition to the channel, is That's Not an Error. I've done 6 or 7 episodes of Not an Error, and what this is this is a series where I go on eBay and I look at certain items that just simply aren't errors, that people are claiming are errors and asking ridiculous prices for. It's my way of educating you guys as to what really is an error, what's not an error, and showing you how people are trying to scam the system, showing notes that are either altered or fake or whatever, and they're selling them for hundreds of dollars sometimes, and they're not real. It's important to know why they're not real. It's important to know who these sellers are so that you don't accidentally buy from them. And more important, it's important for you guys to learn these little lessons so that when you go to shows, you're going to be able to pick out this stuff as well. So that was number 1 on my list of things that I did on this channel in 2022. Hopefully you guys learned a ton over the last year. I had a lot of fun making these videos, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Remember, if you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. I love reading all your comments. Guys, thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you next time.